Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our IAS PCSwala daily current affairs analysis. Under that, we are going to take at least 7 topics that are from the GS paper 1 to GS paper 3. So the first news that we will take is the the schedule for the election for the Lok Sabha that will be held from the 19th of April to the 1 of June. So there are many pre-specific terms and concept you should understand that we will discuss. After that, we will see that the nature of this electoral bond being used by the different companies, the way they have manipulated the thing. There is the analysis on that. We will study it with the mains perspective, because you can use this into the, whenever you have to criticize, you have to give the cons with respect to the electoral system in India or electoral bond, why we declare unconstitutional this bond. So there could be the further point. Then we will study this Indian Navy warship risk to the 17 crew member that was hijacked by the pirates in the Arabian Sea. So we will see this two of our warships such as the INS Kolkata and INS Subhadra. So it will be important for the internal security GS paper 3. So you should know this point with respect to the mains perspective. Then we will study the indigenous drugs developed to the treat sickle cell disease. So we will know the basics about the sickle cell. That is very important. Okay. So it is for the prelims as well as for the mains. Then we will study the Ajgar Siddhar temple, the unique nature of the doll that is donated at this temple. So we will study it under the mains perspective as the prelims perspective. Mains perspective under the art and culture. Then we will study, this is very important news, that we are going for this Agni 5 test, and this has the MIRV technology. What is this? Under this there will be the multiple target attack under the one launch. Okay, and there is the feature of the re-entry of this missile into the atmosphere again. So it will be for the mains as well as for the prelims. Then we will study who will benefit from the CAA rules. So despite we have covered all of our concept with respect to the Citizen Amendment Bill, but now under this article we will study that how it is going to impact on the ground, really the community who are going to be benefited. So this will be under this part, and in the last we will study a dancing on a tightrope. This is with respect to the Chinese company. The name of that Chinese company is the Byte Dance, and it's on the TikTok, the famous app. Okay. So this will be under the international relation GS paper 2 mains perspective. So this is all about for the today's session. So let's start with the first topic that we are going to take from the first page. Okay, so the first topic that we are going to take is the 7-phase poll fest to kick off on April 9, and this poll is the second largest, longest duration for the election of the Lok Sabha that has been taken till now. The first and the largest election duration was during the first election. It was from the September 1951 to February 1952. So please remember that this is the second longest, because it is started on the 19th of the April and it will go till the 1st of the June. So please remember this thing. So this is the second largest, not the first longest. Okay, so second longest polling exercise in India electoral history. The first was into the first election that was held between September 1951 to February 1952. So this is important. Other thing you should know is that with the poll dates when announced, the model code of the conduct comes into the effect. So the question could be that, what is the duration of the model code of the conduct? It is the date on which the date is declared from the yesterday, when the date declare, and until the result will be declared, there will be the model code of the conduct. So it will be very important for the prelims perspective. Beside that, you should know that this model code of the conduct, it has not mentioned into the Indian Constitution. There is no law, and it is just a rule framed by the Election Commission of India. This is no legal binding. Okay, so there is no direct repercussion of the violation of the model code of the conduct. It is like the moral and ethical set of the rules that political parties are expected to follow. Election Commission has said that we will try to curb these 4 M's. What is these 4 M's? The muscular power, that is famous in Indian election, money power, and misinformation. In the age of the digital era and social media, misinformation, there is the very high speed by that this misinformation is spread across the people. And the fourth is the model code of conduct violation. So please remember all 4M, and whenever you are going to write your answer with respect to the elections and nature of election in India, use these 4M's in your mains examination. Okay. Beside that, you should also know that with this Lok Sabha election, there will be the state assembly election of the 4 states. The one is Bihar, second is the West Bengal. No, incorrect. The one is Andhra Pradesh, other is Odisha, then Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. This Bihar, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh, this will have the 7th phase of the Lok Sabha election. That's why here it is given. But the state assembly where the state legislative election will be held, that is the Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh. Both are AP. Odisha, that is famous from our independence till now. Odisha has been aligning one nation, one election. This Odisha is following the one nation, one election, and there is very unique nature. Despite in the Lok Sabha, BJP dominate, but in the state election, BJD, Biju Janata Dal, dominates into the Odisha. So it has the unique nature. Same is the Andhra Pradesh. In the Andhra Pradesh, both in the state election and in the Lok Sabha, there is the domination of the regional party. Okay, so please remember all this thing. So it is the Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. AP you can understand Sikkim and Odisha. Odisha is so much in the news. Okay. Other thing you should remember is this. The number of seats is now 543. Previously, till the 17th Lok Sabha, in the 17th Lok Sabha, it was 545. Why it has become 543? Because due to Constitutional Amendment 104, Constitutional Amendment 104, Constitutional Amendment 104, this brought in of the two nominated members from Anglo-Indian community. The definition of Anglo-Indians comes first under the Indian Act of 1935. Okay, the Government of India Act of 1935, where it defines who are the Anglo-Indians. Anglo-Indians were defined as those persons who are native to India, but their ancestry, their fathers, from the male lineage, belong from the British community. So please remember that they were those Indians who born those children who born in India, but their father or their male ancestry belong from the Britain. Okay, so they were known as the Anglo-Indians, and it was defined into the Government of India Act 1935. So please remember, now this is not under Constitutional Amendment of 104. It has been repealed. So you should be careful about why it is there is no nominated member anymore into the Lok Sabha, but still there is the nominated members into the Rajya Sabha. This is very important. So these are the basic things you should remember, and they are very important. Other thing you should know about this is the composition of the those who are the young. They are the 182 crores now. They are the young, and of that 85 lakhs are the women. The first time those who are going to appear for this election. Okay. There is other data. One thing or more you should know, the gender ratio has increased this time. It has reached to the 948. 948 women for the 1,000 men. Okay. So please, you should know all this thing. There are more women than men into the 12 states. So please don't confuse that in the all of the state. It is the men who have the more population ratio. But yes, the women's have also more ratio, and most of them are from the southern state or the northeastern state. The next news that we are going to take is the within the month of formation, the firm brought the poll bonds, electoral bonds running into the crores. So it has found that there has been so many companies who were just formed to buy this electoral bond and hand over to the political parties. So this is very a situation that shows that the manipulation and misuse of the money into the election and misuse of the electoral bond. Here it has given the many cases where the company were formed, and within the 3 months they started buying this electoral bond, and worth of them is going around 100 crores. So this shows that the money power, we were talking in the 4 money power, 4 M's here. So this is the one of the example of the money powers, and there was so many companies were just formed. Their transaction was only for the buying, purchasing and donating this electoral bond. So this is the example of the cell companies, and in the many of the companies the director was the same. Next important news that we are going to take is the Indian Navy warship rescued 17 crew members hijacked by the pirates. So you should remember two things. One is that this Indian Navy destroyer INS Kolkata. So what is the destroyer? Destroyer is the guided, it is equipped with the guided missile, and whenever there is the attack from the missile, it's target and it's nullify the attack. The second is the INS Subhadra, and it is the Coast Guard ship just for the patrolling. So please remember both INS Subhadra and INS Kolkata. So this is from the INS Kolkata class. This INS Subhadra is from the Sukanya class of the warship. Other important thing you should know is that what are the numbers from the different community, different groups. For example, from the disability, the voters number will be the 88 lakhs. Those who have the disability more than 40%. So please remember, those who are crossing the 100 year of the age, there are the 2,18,000 people. 100 years, they are crossing 100 years and they are going to vote in this poll. Maybe many of them can survive for one more month, and that's why, okay. And those who are more than 85 years, there is the 81 lakh. The number of the polling station, 10,48,000, here it is given. So these are the basic thing. The voters, those who have the age between the 18, 19, 1 crore 84 lakh. So this is all about overseas electors, service electors, and the transgender voters. So please just keep into the mind the composition. They are not necessary. You don't need to memorize all these things. Just keep into the mind. Near about 2 lakh, 1 lakh, 1,80,000, something. Next important news is with respect to the sickle cell anemia. This is the sickle cell disease, and this is related to the abnormalities into the blood cell, particularly the hemoglobin. Please remember that. We don't have the cure for that, but yes, we reduce the pain due to this sickle cell and disease, and sickle cell anemia. Okay, so now we have the indigenous medicine before that to reduce the pain but not the cure the disease. The cure is still not there, but yes, during this sickle cell anemia and this sickle cell disease there is lot of pain, and to reduce this there was no Indian version of the medicine. Mostly we were importing, but now the Arcus Drug and Pharmaceutical Limited, it has brought a, and the rate of this is very low. Okay, so it is expected to provide the government more medicine for the less than 600 rupees. So it is 1% of the global price. This is the thing. Please let's see the what is the basic about the anemia. This is particularly a blood cell, and this is the abnormality into the blood cell. So what is the abnormality? The abnormality into the hemoglobin. This is the iron-rich protein into the red blood cell. Okay, here it is given, and this red blood cell, this is the main carrier of the oxygen through the body. It carries the oxygen through the body. So please remember, the shape of this blood cell changes due to this abnormality. A normal blood cell is the round. Here it is like that, and when it is round, it is easy to flow. Look. But due to the abnormality, it's become the stiff and the sickle shaped. This is the sickle you must have seen into the our villages. When in the this field in the village, we find that the sickle use of the sickle during the different use during the cropping pattern and sowing and harvesting. So it becomes like this. So from this round to it's become a bit like this shape. So let me show you. So from round, this is the normal cell, this is the sickle cell, and if it become like this, there is the clogging, and if it clogs, there is the obstruction into the flow of the blood, and if the blood is not flowing in the proper manner, there will be the lot of pain. Okay, so the pain will be very high in the case of if it get stuck to the small blood vessel and blocking the blood flow. So this is given, you should know this is how this is working. Hemoglobins cause the red blood cells to become stiff and the sickle shaped. This is due to the abnormality of the hemoglobin. So please remember this thing. These are very important. The other thing you should know is the how much prevalence it is in the India. India is the second. India has the second large number of the population after the sub-Saharan of Africa. And you should know that the 20 million, 20 millions means 2 crore of the people, they are suffering from the sickle cell anemia and sickle cell disease. And every year there is the 40,000 children, those who born with the sickle cell anemia, the sickle cell disease. And mostly it is prevalent into the tribal people, and mostly tribal of the Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. So please remember, this is the area. Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. They are the connected with each other. The middle central part of the India. So you can able to remember if you there is it is not that much into this area, but this area middle part of the India. Okay, this is the genetic inheritance. Means it comes from the your mother and your father, and this is a type of the autosomal recessive genetic disorder. It means that it's this cell should be coming from the both of the parents. One gene is coming from the mother and one gene is coming from the father. So it should be from the both of the parents. Not as if it is from the single parent, the disease, the symptom will be not impact the person, disease will be not there. But yes, carrying capacity will be there. For the next generation, you can carry in your children. But if this is just from the one of the parents, so there will be the no symptom. And what are the symptoms? There is the severe pain and fatigue, shortness of the breath, frequent infection. So all this thing is there.
Have you ever pondered the mysteries of genetic inheritance, specifically how certain disorders make their way from one generation to another? Today we dive into the fascinating world of genetics, focusing on the concept of autosomal recessive genetic disorders and one such condition, sickle cell disease, commonly known as SCD. Now, to understand autosomal recessive genetic disorders, we need to break down the term. Autosomal refers to the fact that the genes involved are located on one of the 22 pairs of autosomes, the non-sex chromosomes. Recessive implies that two copies of an abnormal gene must be present for the disorder to develop. Imagine a coin toss. If both parents carry one copy of the abnormal gene and one normal gene, each child they have is like a new toss of the coin. Each toss, or in this case each child, has a 25% chance of inheriting two abnormal genes and developing the disorder. This is the crux of autosomal recessive inheritance. Now let us discuss sickle cell disease. This condition affects the red blood cells, causing them to assume a crescent or sickle shape. These abnormal cells can cause various complications as they can block blood flow in small vessels. SCD is a classic example of an autosomal recessive genetic disorder. So how does SCD inheritance work? Well, for a child to develop sickle cell disease, they must inherit two copies of the sickle cell gene, one from each parent. If both parents are carriers of the sickle cell gene, each of their children has a 1 in 4 chance of inheriting the disease. However, it's important to remember that inheriting the sickle cell trait is not the same as having the disease. Children who inherit only one sickle cell gene from one parent and a normal gene from the other parent will not develop SCD. These individuals are carriers, or as they are sometimes called, sickle cell trait. They can pass the gene on to their offspring, but they typically do not experience the symptoms of the disease themselves. In conclusion, understanding the mechanics of autosomal recessive genetic disorders like sickle cell disease is key to deciphering how these conditions are passed down through generations. It all boils down to the genetic lottery that happens at conception, where the combination of genes from each parent determines whether a child will develop the disorder, be a carrier, or be free of the disease. This knowledge can empower individuals to make informed decisions about their health and their children's health. So, the next time you find yourself pondering,
the government of India is doing what are the doing? So the government of India is has a national sickle cell anemia elimination mission, and under this initiative, it's want to improve the screening, diagnosis, and treatment of the sickle cell disease because it is in the tribal area. So this diagnosis and in screening is very low. So this is all about you should know. This is very important. Next news is very interesting, and look, these pictures, these are the pictures, these are the dolls in a temple, in the vicinity of the temple, where the people put these dolls and such statue, small miniatures around the temple to as the offering whenever there is the fulfillment of their wish, and whatever the wish they have done there as per their wish. Maybe if they are wishing for the a police person, so if after the becoming the police they will give a miniature, they will offer a miniature of the police uniform, means this miniature will be dressed into the police uniform. If they have for the lawyer, it will be in the lawyer uniform. If it is the politician uniform. So here you will find all type of uniform because the all type of the people they have come and wish offer and wished here, and their wishes have been fulfilled. So there is a beautiful story of this temple. This is known as the Jhagu Muthu Ajgat Siddharth temple. Okay, and it is into the Tamil Nadu, in a small village into the Tamil Nadu, and now it has become very famous. This is the dolls, these are the miniatures that has been offered. So the story is that there was a temple. This temple is the 300-year old, and here a priest come once a time. And during the time, a person, a couple who doesn't have the a child, and they were married for the last 15 years, they came and they wishes, they take blessing of the priest, and after few days they beard the child, and yes, they bless with the child. So one day in their dream, this priest come, and the name of the priest was the Ajagat Swami Siddharth. The name of this temple is the same. So he came into the dream and asked them to please offer the doll of the your child in the a miniature form. And from that onwards, there was this tradition started of offering this doll and miniature whenever the blessings are fulfilled. So in this there you can find every type of these miniatures and the dolls from the police, from the directors, from the politicians. Every type of the dresses have been found there. Next important news that we are going to take is with respect to the Agni 5. We have tested Agni 5 and it is with the technology of MIVR. So what is the MIVR? This is very much a unique and special technology. Under that, we can target multiple targets in one launch, one missile attack. So yeah, so you can see that there it is the this is the picture. This missile will go and there will be the lot of missile comes and there will be the lot of targets can be targeted, and it is also to penetrate those air defense system that has been applied by the new war strategy, war technology by the many countries. Okay, so what is the name of this? This is known as the multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. So please try to understand what is the multiple independently targetable and what is the re-entry vehicle. So you should know it separately. Multiple targetable, it's become to penetrate the any type of the defense system. For example, just take a simple example. I hope you must be knowing the cricket, and wherever there is the shot, think that there is the batsman. Consider that this is Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, Sachin Tendulkar here he is playing batting. Okay, doing the batting. There is the bowling from the Shoaib Akhtar. Shoaib Akhtar is bowling, and Sachin Tendulkar hit on the boundary. And if Shahid Afridi is here, so those are the famous cricketer. This Shahid Afridi is going to catch this ball. If this is the single ball, he will easily catch if the ball goes to here. But think that there is the technology with the Sachin Tendulkar that whenever there the ball, it will be in the last phase, there will be the multiplication of this ball. So do you think that he will able to take this if there is the instead of one ball, it multiplied to the 6 and 8 ball, will he able to catch? No. The same is with the defense system. If some country is here and it is launching the missile, and if there is the enemy country who have the system of the air defense, they can nullify our attack by their air defense. But if it is for the one launch, one target, one warhead, but think that if there is the 8 warhead that is coming out of this single, so it will get confused and there will be the easily we can attack. Even this person cannot catch even a single ball, and he will get hurt badly as well. So this is the system. This is the multiple targetable. This is the multiple independently targetable. This is the what the meaning. What is the re-entry? Again, from the cricket itself, I will try to explain it. Whenever a batsman have to hit the 6, so you know that this is the boundary. Do you have you seen that the ball is going like this? Ball is like this. Never, no. The ball always give with the projectile. This will be the. This is the way the ball goes. The ball from the batsman to the out of boundary. This is the system. In the same way, when there is the long distance, a long range missile, ballistic missile, they have the range of the 5,000, 6,000. The same is with the Agni 5. The range is the 5 to 8,000. And if it have to go, and this will be the projectile, and this go for the much higher that go out of the our atmospheric system. Atmospheric system, most of the gaseous particle is under the stratosphere. You must have studied the troposphere, after that is stratosphere. So it is considered that 80 kilometer we have the proper atmosphere. After that there is the vacuum. So when generally whenever there is the single launch of the warhead, missile goes, and after the warhead comes out of this missile, so this missile part, rest of the launch system, that become the nullify, and here they can fall, and targets go for the its path. But this MIRV, this MIRV system has a very accurate target and accuracy, and to maintain this accuracy, this will follow this warhead till the last, and so that there could be the more accuracy. You must have heard that if you have to shoot someone from the long distance, there could be the less accuracy, but if you are going very close and going to shoot that, the accuracy will be very high. The same is that this will this will monitor, this will follow the path of the warhead till the very end, and that's why accuracy is very high. And this system is maintained by the technology such as the very sophisticated sensors, cameras. Okay, all this thing is implemented here, applied. Okay, so this is the way this re-entry means, once this missile is leaving the atmosphere, and again this missile launch is again entering into the re-entering into the atmosphere. This is called as the re-entry vehicle. Otherwise, in normal condition, there is no re-entry, because generally this demand a very high level of the technology, because whenever there is the re-entry, there is the very high resistance, and chances is there that this missile will burn down. And that's why it is very high level of the technology that is needed for the re-entry into the atmosphere. So I hope you are clear with the name itself. So the names gives everything. Multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. So it is developed by the DRDO, and it is under the mission Divyastra. Divyastra, this is the Divyastra. This has so much sophistication, it can target so many targets in a one time. Very few countries have this technology, so you should know what are the countries. Mostly they are around India, Pakistan and China, 3. Okay. US and Russia, easily you can know, they are the first who started with this technology. This is the US that developed in 1970 this technology. After that it is followed by the Russia, and then France and UK also developed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 countries is clearly known. It is considered that Israel also has this technology, but Israel has not demonstrated it in publicly. Okay, so this is the thing here it is given. You should be careful. Okay. This can be launched from the canister. This is known as the canister. Okay. So here it is given, the test has been done from the APJ Abdul Kalam Island, that is in the Odisha. Please remember this for the state PCS. And this is equipped with the indigenous avionics system. This means a high level of the computer system, sensor system, camera system, all that is the part of this for the high accuracy. Okay, so this is all about, and here it is given that India has its policy of the no first use. Okay, so what is mean by the no first use? That we will not going to use our nuclear weapon for against any of the power, any of the countries. Mostly we will not use against those countries who don't have the this nuclear weapon. And even those who have the nuclear weapon, we will not use first. If there will be that country will attack us, then only we are going to attack. And the attack from our side will be in such a manner that we will leave nothing. It will be minimum credible deterrence, and it will be with a very high intensity. And to show that we have developed all type of the delivery system of these nuclear weapons, we can deliver from the aircraft, missiles as well as submarines. This is our capability. So we will not first use, but whenever we will use, we will do the dhua dhua. Let's see the video on this, the way we are going to use this. This means that the way we are going to use धुआं धुआं हो जाएगा means we will use in such a manner, we will destroy everything of that country who are going to attack us. First, we will not attack, we will try to be a very peaceful nation, but if the attack is done on the Indian ground, we will not going to tolerate and accept. The thing is that the criticism is that if there will be the attack from the nuclear weapon, you will not have the chance to retaliate itself. There is just need of the one nuclear weapon, everything will be destroyed. That's why always it is said that you have to think about your no first use policy. Okay. Besides that, you should know that we conducted this test in 1998 and we adopted the no first use policy in 2003. This is very important for our nuclear policy. So in the mains, the question could be on the our no first use policy. This is very much into the debate whether we should go with this for no first use or we should get rid of this policy. So it can help defeat the ballistic missile defense. That means we found I explained the way we are going to defeat that. If there will be the one, there could be the easily it could be counter attack, but if there is the more numbers of the warheads, so it will be not possible by the defense system to target this. So this is all about, we know that how this has been a contest from the different countries, like China want to compete with the US in the number of this system, MIRV system, and yes, India want to compete with the China, and Pakistan want to compete with the India. This is the system, cascading system that is given here. This is all about this multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Here it is given a comparison with the different war system that India have. Like India have this Agni, Prithvi, Sagarika and Dhanush. You should be very careful what is the launch mass. Launch mass is the overall mass of the this missile whole system. Whole system is of this launch mass. And what is the payload mass? Payload mass is this warhead that is at the last. Here it is the warhead. This is the mass, and this could be the 1000 kg, but this overall launch mass could be 17 tons. So there is the highest, it is for the Agni, and it is lowest for the Dhanush and the Prithvi. So please, you should know the range is near about 3000 to 4000 for the Agni 4, but it is 5000 to 8000 for the Agni 5. So please remember, for the Prithvi it is 250 to the 300. Sagarika it is 700 to 750, and Dhanush it is 350 to 750. Please be very careful of all this data. The next news that we are going to take is this: who will benefit from the new CAA rules? So here we will not go for the basics. Already we have done with the basics, that what is this Citizenship Amendment Act. It is for the providing the citizenship for the those who want to citizenship by the naturalization process. Okay, so this is the thing, and the other thing is that it is going to provide it for the six non-Muslim religious community. Those are the Hindu, Sikhs, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi, and Christian. And it is for the three countries that are the Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. So you should be clear about the basics. The other thing you should know this the entry date for the those who want to get the citizenship by the Citizenship Amendment Act. It should be the on or before 31st December 2014. Okay. Now the rule has been come, and what is the rule that this rules is talking about? This is talking about the online submission of the documents, and it is particularly this rule was for the undocumented migrants. Okay, so now this rule is specifying the documents, those documents that include from the those certificate that prove that you were into the these three countries before the entry into the India, you were entered into the India with the specific date and with what type of the data, all that is asked, whether it is the long term visa or the okay. Here it is given that what is the expected data, that how many people is going to be benefited. As for the Home Minister Amit Sir, it is lakhs and the crores of the people that will be benefited as per his speech into the Lok Sabha, no, Rajya Sabha, okay. And as per the director of the Intelligence Bureau, he said that around 31,000 people would be immediately benefited. Okay, so this is here, and it was brought by the Trinamool Congress leader Derek O'Brien. Okay, here it has given that already there are a lot of people who are expecting, particularly the Hindus and Sikhs, those enter into the India from the Pakistan and Afghanistan. They were here for the with the long-term visa. This long-term visa is provided for the. This is just for precursors to the citizenship. So you should remember. You should also remember there is the Matua community. They are into the West Bengal, and they will get benefited. Their number is very high into the West Bengal. They are from the scheduled caste community. So please remember. Besides that, you should know that this National Register of the Citizen, this is only done into the Assam, and it was under the Supreme Court direction and supervision of the Supreme Court. And in Assam, there was near about 90 lakh people who become, who do not have the documents to prove their citizenship out of the 3 crore 29 lakh of the people. And in this all process of National Register for Citizenship, in the only Assam, 1,220 crore rupees was spent. This is the data you should remember. Let's see a video on this. There will be more clarity.
Central government notified the Citizenship Amendment Rules 2024. This means that the government has formally enabled the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act that was passed by the Parliament in 2019. The legislation facilitates citizenship to undocumented people belonging to the Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Parsi, Christian and Jain communities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. It applies to people from these communities who came to India on or before December 31st, 2014. This comes just days before the announcement of the dates of the general elections. Applicants will have to provide 6 types of documents and specify quote-unquote date of entry in India. The list of permissible documents include birth certificate, tenancy records, identity papers, any license, school or educational certificate issued by a government authority in Afghanistan and Bangladesh. The applicants will have to produce an eligibility certificate issued by a locally reputed community institution confirming that he or she belongs to quote-unquote Hindu or Sikh or Buddhist or Jain or Parsi or Christian community. The users will have to register on the portal. All documents along with photographs are to be uploaded online, and the applications will be processed after a background check by security agencies. To prove that the applicant seeking citizenship entered India before December 31st, 2014, they will have to provide another set of documents such as exempted from the CAA.
So this is all about the CAA. You should know what is the rules that has come. Next important news is with respect to the TikTok and its owner company that is going on, and yes, the law that has been framed into the US. This is the dancing on the tightrope. It means that the way the company is facing its means resistance from the US. Here, the lawmakers have made the law that they have asked their citizens that either you should divest its stake into the TikTok within 6 months or risk a ban. So either you sell the company to the US or you have to give the ownership to the US, or there will be the ban. This is the situation. So you should know that this Dance Byte is the owner company, and how it is started. It started with the owner when he was moving through the metro. He find that the people are using more mobiles than the book and edit anything. That's why he started making something that could aggregate the interest of the people and bring to the people into the digital form. And after that it was started. He started with the one of the app, and then he started with his company with the Byte Dance, and he came up with the one of the precursor app Douyin, and after that it was the TikTok that became very famous, and it was uploaded into the billions across the world. Okay, so now the thing is that this app is based on the information that we provide. So this app will aggregate the interest of the people, and after that it will give the people what the people want. So as much as information we provide, the app become more and more sophisticated and more useful. But the same time it is going to help us as well, because it's reduce our time to searching for our interest. It will search our interest, and it will provide the all that thing. This is the concept on that this all app is working. But the thing is that now the legislation, they are asking that please either you should, as there is the security issue because the personal data you are taking into the China, and we do not believe on the Chinese government. And India was the first nation, among the first nation who banned this TikTok. Okay, now US is there. US has asked that please either give this ownership to the non-Chinese, particularly to the Americans, or you will face the ban. The thing is that they are talking about the personal information. The thing is here that even though those companies, those platform of the US, they also do not go for this personal data. They don't have such restriction of the personal data. For example, this Facebook, Google, Instagram, all they collect the personal data of the people, and there is no such restriction. So this is for the why you are going for the TikTok. The second thing is that if you are going from the TikTok or changing the ownership, it will be like the hostile takeover. In the 6 month, if you are going to sell your company to the others, so it will be very difficult to go for a justified price. So this is here it is given. So it is given that these companies are facing the situation where it has to balance the algorithm, means you have to search for the new technology, the users, means those who are using, and a conducive political environment. The rules of the different nations is changes with the this different technology. So this technology company has to face all this thing. Means you have to be updated with the technology. You have to do as per the interest of those users or those consumers. And yes, you have to do it as per the rules and regulation of the company. So this is all about. You should just know basics so that you could have the clarity. The next important news that we are going to take is a bureaucrat for the all season. It is talking about our Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar, and here it is given that he has been favorite for all the parties. Okay. Recently we saw that there has been so many resignation from the members of the election commissioner. Sometime election commissioner, for example, recently we saw that the abrupt resignation of the election commissioner Arun Goyal, and he considered that it was due to he was not comfortable on many of the ground with the Rajiv Kumar. And Rajiv Kumar himself was appointed when the Mr. Lavasa, who was the election commissioner in 2019, he resigned because he was also not aligned with the then chief election commissioner. He was not. He has the different view with respect to the chief election commissioner during the 2019 election commission, and issues such as the model code of the conduct violation by the certain high profile political functionaries. You can understand who is this high profile political functionaries. So he resigned. Here it has given that the post before chief election commissioner he held. He has held very important post, and you should know what are the relevance and function. He was the establishment officer into the Ministry of Personnel. So Ministry of Personnel, you should know this is responsible for the appointments, and this considered as the very important office, and it's acts under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister. Okay, it's approve all the appointments of the personal matter related to the central government. That's why it's become very important. The second appointment for the PSU is the chief of the Public Enterprises Selection Board. So he was the chief of the Public Enterprises Selection Board, and here again for the all of the PSUs, the appointment is done by this board. So he held very important position, and that's why it shows that what are the body that is responsible for the appointment. Let's do some of the questions. Please take the first question. Which of the following bodies is responsible for the implementing model code of conduct during the election in India? A. Supreme Court of India, Ministry of Law and Justice, Election Commission of India, President of India. Very easy question, please solve. Next question. The model code of conduct comes into effect from the date notification of election schedule, completion of voter registration, start of nomination process, formation of new government. What is the correct answer? Please answer. Sickle cell disease is a group of disorder caused by bacterial infection of the blood. B. Abnormal hemoglobin in red blood cell. C. Parasitic infection affecting the bone marrow. D. Vitamin deficiency. What is the answer? Question number 4. Identify the primary mode of inheritance for the sickle cell disease. A. X-linked dominant. B. X-linked recessive. C. Autosomal dominant. D. Autosomal recessive. Please answer. Next question. Consider following statement about sickle cell disease in India. 1. It is primarily a health concern affecting the tribal population. 2. The disease has a higher prevalence in India than in any countries. Which of the above statement is are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Please answer. Next question, this is the last question. Consider following statement with reference to 18th Lok Sabha election. It will be second longest polling exercise in Indian electoral history. Second, all the state UTs have more men than women voters. Which of the above statement is are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So this is all about for the today's newspaper. We have covered most of the relevant area that is for the UPSC. Here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.